the Vatican and will be buried in one coffin as opposed to the traditional three.
After a Pope's passing, the Camerlengo of the Holy Roman Church, Cardinal Kevin Farrell, confirms the demise by calling the Pope by his baptismal name 3 times, after which he solemnly declares the Pope is truly no more. This is a tradition which has run for centuries and is one of the most symbolic acts that follows the removal and destruction of a fisherman's ring, which is unique to each Pope in office. Upon confirmation of his passing, the Vatican notifies the College of Cardinals and Catholic leaders, after which a 9-day mourning period, known as Novum Dies, during which daily masses will be held in the Pope's memory. The Pope's funeral is typically expected to be held 4 to 6 days after his passing at St. Peter's Square. The date of the funeral and burial is to be decided by the cardinals. The late Pope's body will be washed, then dressed in red and white papal vestments before being placed in a dignified setting for public viewing. Thousands of faithful and other dignitaries are expected to pay their last respects at St. Peter's Basilica. With a vacancy in the Pope's office, the College of the Cardinals oversees the day-to-day activities, during which the period when normal operations are suspended, although their powers are extremely limited. The public funeral mass, which will be held in St. Peter's Square, will serve as a spiritual farewell, where the Pope's life will be honored as well as his teachings and services to the Church. Finally, the Pope will be buried in line with the tradition involving 3 coffins. Previously, the Pope would be buried in line with tradition involving 3 coffins, one made of cypress wood to represent humility, where the Pope's body would lie. His body would be placed with a white silk veil over his face, along with a lead tube containing a written biography detailing his life and legacy, which includes medals and coins minted during his reign. After sealing off the cypress coffin, it would be placed with a second coffin made of zinc or lead. This coffin would be airtight to represent the Pope's everlasting spiritual legacy. The coffin would be enclosed in a third coffin made of oak wood. This third coffin would have an extremely strong outer layer to protect the other 2 coffins, and then marked with a gold cross and the papal coat of arms. Pope Francis, though, simplified the papal funeral and burial tradition, opting for a single zinc-lined wooden coffin. To some of the Catholic faithful we spoke to, this demonstrated a Pope who lived and led with humility.
And we learn from that as Catholics that we should always not be proud. We should always stand on what Jesus taught us, that we should take our lives as in the way of humbleness.
Ekimu ekimufudde omwetowaze kwe kulaba nti ye asazeewo okumuziika mu mbeera eyaffe eya bulijjo etali eyo gye babadde baziikamu bapaapa abalala.
Francis managed to choose the name Francis to move in the legacy that the Francis of Assisi was a very simple person who sacrificed whatever he had for the good of the common people, for the good of the people who were suffering by then.
The burial site of most popes is in the Vatican grottos beneath St. Peter's Basilica, though some have chosen different resting places. Pope Francis had indicated that he would like to be buried at the Basilica of Mary Major. After the burial, there will be preparation for the conclave, which convenes to elect a new pope. This takes place within 15 to 20 days after the pope's death. The gathering of the College of Cardinals will gather in the Vatican, in the Sistine Chapel, where they will remain secluded until a successor is chosen.